Today we're following the installation of a solar and battery system that features 14 Longi panels and a Fox Evo 10 all-in-one battery. This customer is having a system installed that is designed to future-proof the property for years to come. In this video, we're going to break down the technology behind the Fox Evo 10 battery system and show you exactly how the installation works. And trust me, it wasn't as straightforward as we initially thought it would be. The engineers are pretty pissed off with what's just happened.
They've just been thrown around van somehow.
Not putting those panels on this customer's house.
Is this turning out to be the install from hell?
The property behind me uses around 3,000 kilowatt hours of electricity every year. That's about average for a UK home. But with 14 panels going up on the roof, has this homeowner oversized his system? And if so, why? This homeowner currently uses around 3,000 kilowatt hours of electricity each year and spends approximately £1,000 annually on electricity. But reducing today's bills wasn't the only objective. The homeowner wanted to reduce carbon emissions, improve energy independence, and prepare the property for technologies they plan to add in the future. When we first spoke to the homeowner, it quickly became clear that this wasn't about finding the cheapest system available. It was about creating a long-term energy strategy, a system that would not just work today, but for the future.
Yeah.
We know it's massively overspec.
And that phrase, overspec, that's going to become really important later because it's one of the key reasons this installation stands out from a typical solar project. Is this the life of a solar engineer?
Gotta cook your own breakfast nowadays.
Every solar installation starts with careful preparation. Before any panels are fitted, the team begins by installing the roof mounting system. So these are the rails that create the structural foundation of the solar array. So they must be positioned pretty precisely. If you're out by like a few millimeters when you're installing the rail, by the time it gets to the other end of the roof, you're going to have quite a big difference and you'll struggle to get the panels on properly.
Before we start anything, we get the DC line up. Make sure we've got the right strings for the right amount of panels. We can start spacing the hooks out, the right measurement that needs to get spaced out at. As you come down here, I'll show you. You're just going to have to grind these little notches out so the tile sits flush against the roof with the hook still in there.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's still nicely watertight down all the seams. There's no movement on the tile for it to drop out. Get the hooks all the way down to where the end of the panel's going to go, and then start installing the rail after.
Happy days, alright, I'll let you crack on.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, dude. Yeah. Once the mounting system is complete, the solar panels can be secured and connected together to form the array. But there was a problem. Has the batteries turned up yet? For nothing, right, okay. We've run into a little bit of a problem. The battery and the solar panels haven't arrived yet, and time is definitely ticking on. With the solar panels and batteries still out on delivery, the engineers were working hard to ensure everything was ready for when it finally arrived. We've got Greg and Kirky up there on the roof. They're just working on the rails at the moment. The panel's going to have 7 by 7. So 7 panels on the bottom and 7 right above it, and I believe they're also having bird proofing in there as well. So we've got Leon here who's been working away on the wiring. So he's just been working on the 2 DC isolators here, and you can see the wiring going up into the roof. That will plug straight into the solar panels, and then you've got your AC isolator here. So as I say, we're just waiting now for the panels. The chaps on the roof are going to get the rail finished. And then we can get on with it. Finally, the delivery arrived. Finally here.
What's that?
Finally here.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping so. It's gotta be on it.
In the nick of time. The engineer started unloading the solar panels, battery and inverter, getting everything ready for the install. But there was another problem. So the panels have arrived, but we've come into a massive problem. Basically, I don't know what happened with the delivery, but all the panels, literally all of the panels are scratched. So there's no way we're putting them on this customer's house. I mean, have a look at this. So we've got a scratch here. Scratches down in that corner there. You know, they just obviously haven't been packed with care. There you go, right next to where you are, Joe. That's really bad. You know, it's up to them to make sure that the products that they supply to each job comes properly. There's another one, really bad one on that side. So there's no way that we're going to put these panels on this customer's roof. So we've got in touch with the manufacturer and they're going to send out a batch of new 14 panels. You know, if you're spending a lot of money on a solar setup, you don't expect the products to be scratched. So we are going to make sure that the customer gets what they paid for.
While the supplier did agree to send out the further 14 panels, this would add significant delay to the install time throughout the day.
Obviously, the engineers are pretty pissed off with what's just happened. What were they trying to say?
So when we got the delivery off the van, all the panels were scratched. I said to him, all the panels are scratched. He was like, nah, they're not all scratched. They've never ever have I had a delivery where they've all been scratched. No. So I said, I'll take photos of them, I'll send you them. Sent him them, then he was like, well, how have you taken them off the van? So we're like, just how we always take them off the van.
We got it on camera as well.
Got it on camera, so, but he was trying to, I think he would like try to say we'd scratched them or he would try to get out of it somehow. But yeah.
Now we've got to wait again for another delivery coming from Manchester, and we're currently in North Wales, so this might be a long day.
At the same time, our electrical engineers begin work on the inverter and battery installations inside the property.
So the Fox Evo 10 has arrived. The guys are just measuring up to where the bracket's going to go onto the wall, and then we're going to mount it.
While many homeowners focus on the solar panels themselves, much of the intelligence behind the system actually comes from the inverter and battery. The inverter converts solar energy into usable electricity, controls battery charging, and manages energy flowing both in and out of the property. Every component has to work together seamlessly to maximize performance.
They're a nice easy install, these.
And with that, the second delivery of solar panels finally arrived.
New panels have arrived. This could potentially be quite awkward. Let's go and check it out, come on.
But would these panels be in a better condition?
Oh, Craig. Craig.
First one's clean. Second one's clean. Yeah, these are coming out much cleaner. So far, so good. Everyone's happy. These are looking a lot better. Yeah, oh, I bet not, actually.
With the solar panels all unloaded and in good condition, the engineers could start loading them onto the roof and getting them installed.
So we're just putting the cables down to where they need to end on the panels, putting the males and females on the ends, the MC4s, and then yeah, we'll just be cracking on paneling.
Sorry to interrupt the video, guys, just a very quick one. I've noticed that over 95% of you that watch the channel aren't actually subscribed, so if you do feel like supporting the channel and what we do here at iHeat, it would mean the world to us if you hit that subscribe button. Right, let's crack on.
How much does a system like this cost? And more importantly, what can you realistically expect in return?
For this homeowner, the total investment came to just under £11,000. Based on the system design and expected performance, it's projected to generate around 5,087 kilowatt hours of electricity every year. So the estimated annual benefit is around £1,387. That's through a combination of reduced electricity imports, battery usage, and future export income.
That gives this system an estimated payback period of approximately 6.1 years.
Now, when you consider that the solar panels are expected to continue producing electricity for decades,
That's where the long-term value becomes really interesting. And it's important to remember that these figures are based on today's assumptions. Future electricity prices, export tariffs, and changes to household energy usage could all affect the long-term return. But there's something else that immediately jumps out when you look at these numbers. This homeowner currently uses around 3,000 kilowatt hours of electricity each year, yet this system is expected to generate more than 5,000.
At first glance, you might think the system is oversized.
And technically it is, but that is entirely intentional.
Most solar systems are designed around current electricity usage. This one has been designed around future electricity usage. The homeowner intends to purchase an electric vehicle and is also considering a heat pump in the future. Both technologies can significantly increase annual electricity consumption.
So a lot of homeowners wait until they've bought an EV or installed their heat pump before they upgrade their energy system. However, this homeowner has done the opposite. They're preparing the house first, and that's where the design becomes really interesting. So the panels are up, 14 Longi panels. Kirky behind me is just starting on with bird caging. These are becoming more and more popular with every install. I think it's a pretty good idea really, because you don't want any birds and animals stuff getting underneath your panels here, messing with the wiring, with the copex.
So now obviously we've installed the panels nice and straight. Now we're just connecting the bird clips and the bird guard up to the panels, making sure it's nice and secure, no gaps or no pigeons or any other birds can start nesting underneath his panels.
Now there's another question some viewers might be asking.
If this system has been designed around future energy demand, why install just a 5 kilowatt inverter? Shouldn't it be bigger?
This is actually a really good question.
Because inverter sizing is one of the most important decisions on any solar installation.
When people look at solar systems, they often focus on annual generation. How many panels are there? How many kilowatt hours will the system generate each year? But inverter sizing is slightly different. The inverter determines how much power can be converted, stored, used or exported at any one moment in time. Think of it like a motorway. The solar panels generate the energy, but the inverter controls how quickly that energy can move around the system.
Now for this homeowner's current usage, a 5 kilowatt inverter is absolutely more than capable. In fact, it's significantly larger than what the property typically demands on a day-to-day basis.
But the real question is what happens when the future EV arrives, or when the heat pump is installed. The reality is that no solar system should be viewed in isolation. Even with a larger inverter, there will still be occasions when household demand exceeds solar generation. For example, imagine a cold winter evening. The heat pump is running, the electric vehicle is charging, the sun has already gone down. At that point, most homes would still need support from either battery storage, the grid, or a combination of both.
And that's why the goal isn't necessarily to eliminate grid imports altogether. The goal is to reduce them as much as possible. It's about generating your own electricity when conditions are good, storing that energy when you don't need it, and using it later when you do.
For this homeowner, the system has been designed to strike a balance between performance, future requirements, and overall return on investment. The 5 kilowatt inverter provides strong solar and battery performance today, while still giving the homeowner the flexibility to benefit from future technologies, and that's exactly why the battery becomes such an important part of the overall design.
Because once you start storing energy intelligently, the conversation changes from simply generating electricity to managing it. So this installation features a Fox Evo 10 battery that has 10.24 kilowatt hours of storage capacity.
The battery stores excess solar energy generated through the day, so it can be used later when electricity demand increases. Instead of immediately exporting all surplus generation to the grid, the homeowner can use more of their own energy when they actually need it. One of the reasons the Fox setups have become increasingly popular is their flexibility. So the system integrates really well with smart tariffs and gives homeowners greater control over how and when they use electricity. And that's where the system starts behaving less like a traditional solar installation and more like a smart energy management system. The system is expected to generate over 5,000 kilowatt hours of electricity annually while providing flexibility for future technologies. By combining 14 Longi solar panels with the Fox Evo 10 all-in-one battery system, this homeowner has created a high-capable energy solution designed not only for today's requirements, but for tomorrow's as well.
So we're basically done with the installation now. Everything's linked up, the whole thing's commissioned. It's been a bit dramatic, but we did get there. Overall, you know, what I really like about this installation is that it wasn't designed around where the homeowner is right now. It's designed around where they're going. Overall, it's going to create a greater energy independence moving forward. I think when we're advising this stuff at iHeat, we always do suggest to the customer to think about the future, because if you get yourself a solar setup that is sort of undersized, you know, you don't have the flexibility to then add this future tech onto it. I mean, if you're considering a solar and battery storage for your own home and you'd like to understand a little bit more about what could work for you, do get in touch with the team at iHeat. We'll be happy to sort of help you design a system that isn't just sort of right for today, but, you know, is ready for the future.
Thanks for watching. This has been iHeat.